Hey, good morning to you. Terry Hansen here, back with you once again on Traveling with Terry each and every single morning as I travel from my home to the office. I get to spend a few minutes with you during our commute together to share some insights with you as a trailblazer in your business, whether you're managing a team, whether you're marketing a product or service, whether you're selling goods to your clients, or just working hard to blaze new trails and accomplish amazing things for you and your family, for your company, for your customers. I'm here for you. And I'm excited about today because today is kind of a sad day, but it's also kind of an exciting day. Sad because this will be the last time I broadcast in this Facebook Live from my personal profile. Starting on Monday, I'll be broadcasting live. This is the exciting part. Broadcasting live from my new company, Arcane Marketing's Facebook page. And as you know, about 4 months ago, after running my company, my sales training and marketing consulting business for 15 years, my business was acquired by Arcane Marketing, and I've taken a position on their executive team. And so I'm now part of the Arcane Marketing team. Woohoo! Anyway, what a whirlwind. What a whirlwind it's been over the last 4 months, and what a great experience it has been. So anyway, wanted to keep up with Traveling with Terry each and every single morning, but just from a different location. So anyway, I'll be sure to post some links to their Facebook page, our Arcane Marketing's Facebook page down. So be 3 things that you need to do. Number 1 is click the link and go to their Facebook page. Number 2 is like that page and follow that page. So that every time I go live in the mornings with Traveling with Terry, you'll get a notification. It'll pop up for you. And number 3, comment below on the podcasts that are your favorite, and add your comments in there. So it'll be great. Okay, so this morning I wanted to chat with you about 4 stages of team development. And this is a concept that I actually learned several years ago, but just lately here, I think this week, the whole concept and the whole idea was brought back into my mind again pretty forcefully by some experiences that I've had with Arcane Marketing, and I wanted to share a quick story with you. So as I mentioned, when 4 months ago when I joined up with Arcane Marketing, at that time that I joined, we created a brand new department inside of the marketing agency, and a brand new department called Client Experience. And it really was the desire of the executive team to create a more powerful and engaging experience for clients. And so what they wanted to do is create a department solely focused on making sure that the customer experience and the projects and the way things were handled, the level of communication and satisfaction was through the roof high. And so we started up this brand new department, and initially it was a department and a team of 1. It was just me working with over 100 different clients and 100 different customers, and overwhelming to say the least. And things got off to a little bit of a rocky start just because of the sheer volume of things that needed to be done, and people to coordinate, and things to do, and only one person really to do it. So there was obviously some bottlenecks there, but slowly but surely we started adding some people. We added one part-time person to the team, and then we added another full-time person to the team, and they've made a huge difference. So now at this point in time, our client experience team is a team of 3, 2 full-time and 1 part-time, and I got to tell you, they are stellar. They're the best of the best of the best. I've just been so impressed with the high quality and talent of these individuals. But as with a brand new team coming together, I've noticed some interesting dynamics. And at first coming together, there was a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of excitement and a lot of vision and a lot of energy coming together. But after the first week or 2 weeks, I noticed that there was some confusion and some breakdown in communication and expectations. Things didn't quite go as smoothly as we envisioned. But then after a certain period of time, we started hitting our stride a little bit. We started aligning and melding and coordinating and collaborating and synergizing a little bit better. And I'm excited because I can see that in the future, we're really going to be hitting that synergy level and really start performing in a marvelous way. We're not quite there yet. But this week I remembered, it was probably about 5 years ago, rewinding the clock about 5 years ago, I was sitting in a Boy Scouts of America leadership training for adult leaders, volunteer leaders who worked with young men, young boys, helping them live the principles of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law and help them progress in their scouting experience. And as I'm sitting up in Island Park in this beautiful foresty area in a tent, surrounded by a bunch of other volunteer adult leaders, I remember one of the trainers explaining that there were 4 stages of team development. The first stage, when a team comes together, they call that stage the forming stage. Team and people come together for the very first time, they're introduced, and that sort of thing. There's typically a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm there. But immediately after that, after the forming stage, there is the storming stage. Things that have a tendency to break down. There is confusion, there's misunderstanding, there's performance kind of drops, there's sometimes conflict and contention, and things just kind of start falling apart. That's pretty natural, pretty normal, is this storming stage after the forming stage is over. But as things progress and as expectations are clarified, as roles and responsibilities are clarified, as accountability and follow-up goes through, that sort of thing, then we progress into the third stage of team development, which is norming. Norming happens when there's increased alignment, there's improved communication, there's better collaboration, and as a result of that, things start gelling and congealing a little bit and norming together. There kind of begins to be patterns and routines and things like that. The fourth and final stage of team development is this performing stage, where really you're hitting your stride, you're scaling, you're growing, and it's the old proverbial Stephen Covey principle of synergy, where one person plus one person equals the combined power and effect of 3 people, in essence. When you take one 2x4, it can support the weight of 300 pounds. But when you take 2 2x4s and you stick them together, those 2 2x4s together can support the weight of over 1,000 pounds together. So 300 plus 300, that's usually 600, but you combine them together and they can support the weight of over 1,000. And that's really where the performing stage comes in, where synergy happens and where really great things happen. So anyway, this week I really feel like our brand new team at Arcane Marketing, we've come together, we've formed, and we kind of had some breakdowns and some difficult parts of our storming experience, and I really feel like we're in the norming stage. We're really starting to align and come together. We're starting to communicate well. Our team huddles that we do every single day are working. Things are being divided and conquered, delegated. We're really starting to understand each other's personalities. We're communicating better. We're not yet, in my mind, at the performing stage where we're crushing it and scaling and just really synergizing in a marvelous way. We're not there yet, but I feel like we're in that third stage, the norming stage. So anyway, if you are a manager in your company and you're an entrepreneur, then recognize that all teams, all families, all groups, when they are put together and there's new members that are coming in and out, go through these 4 stages: a forming, a storming, a norming, and a performing stage. You can Google this. It's not my concept, my principle. It's been around a long time. It's not new or revolutionary, but these 4 stages are real. So really the question becomes, what can you and I as a manager or as a leader do, even a parent, for crying out loud, what can we do to make sure that our team progresses well through each one of those 4 stages as quickly as possible with as little collateral damage as possible, right? Well, one of the things that we can always do and keep our eye just firmly glued is make sure we have our processes and procedures firmly documented. There has to be clear understanding of what the steps, what the formulas, what the recipes, what the steps and procedures and processes are to make our team work and work well. Inside those processes, we have steps. We have steps and we have procedures and those sort of things. So make sure that you as a leader have got your core processes and your procedures well documented. so that those become basically your core playbook that you can turn over to each of your team members and say, this is how we get stuff done around here. Follow these steps, follow these routines. That's why franchises are so successful. They've been able to systematize processes in a way that even when you hire a high school kid, they can run, very successful businesses, because each of the procedures and processes has been well documented and routinized and proceduralized so that it's kind of autopilot. So that's number one. Number two is always clarify expectations. Clarify expectations. Clarify expectations. Clarify those verbally. Clarify those in writing, and also clarify those visually in some sort of a job aid, some sort of a template or a cheat sheet or a checklist. Make it easy for the team to perform by helping them know exactly what's expected, and verbally, in writing, and in visual cues in some way, posters or checklists or cheat sheets or things like that. So clarify expectation. Make sure they understand who does what needs to happen, when it needs to happen, and how it needs to happen. Kind of the proverbial who, what, when, where, right? And maybe even why, of course. So that's really the kind of the core of expectations. And third and final is feedback. Make sure you, when your team is getting together, when they're forming together for the first time, and when they hit that storming stage where everything's kind of falling apart and going into chaos, in order to kind of get through that lag there and that kind of tough part, you as a manager, as a leader, need to be really consistent about offering good constructive feedback. You do that three ways. You make sure to observe them, watch them, and pay attention to them, see them in action. You also check your data, check the reports, check the weekly sales reports, the weekly production reports, the operations reports, whatever, the timesheet reports, whatever reports or data that spits out. You've got to look and monitor and pay attention to the data. So observations, check the data. And number three is interview. Ask questions, sit down with them, interview them, and ask them how it's going. Listen to them tell you stories and experiences. So observation, check the data, interview them. And once you gather that feedback, gather that information, then call out the amazing, awesome, wonderful, good things that they are doing, but then also highlight the things where they're not quite meeting those expectations. So if I had three suggestions to offer to you as a manager, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, and as a trailblazer in your business, then it would be those things. Number one, recognize that all teams go through these four stages of forming, storming, norming, performing, right? And to help your team get to that beautiful bliss performing stage where they're scaled, where they're crushing it, and they're synergizing and really just performing well. Number two, do those three things. Make sure to document your core processes and procedures. Make sure those are crystal clear. Number two, make sure expectations related to their job function and their duties and responsibilities are clearly explained in three ways: verbally, in writing, and visually, in posters and checklists and diagrams, things like that. But then number three is be super laser consistent on providing feedback to them. Watch them, look at the data, interview them, gather good information there, and then provide consistent, steady feedback on a regular basis. So anyway, as managers and leaders, sometimes we are moving so quick in our businesses that we forget to kind of step back and look at things at the macro level, the kind of big picture level, and see our teams a little objectively. And over the last week or two, as my team has formed, as we have stormed, and as we are now at the point where we're just starting to norm and really see some good things happen, I was reminded of these four phases of team growth and team development that I wanted to share with you and offer some tips and suggestions that I'm working hard on myself. We're documenting like crazy. We're clarifying expectations like crazy, and I'm offering feedback like crazy. So I wanted to pass those along to you. So anyway, quick reminder again, today's the last day of broadcasting Traveling with Terry for my personal Facebook page. And starting on Monday, be broadcasting live from my new company, Arcane Marketing's Facebook page. So I'll be sharing that in my profile here, but I'll be posting some links down below. But be sure to click on the link like and follow Arcane Marketing's Facebook page so you can get access to Travel and Terry every single morning as I go live from my home to the office every day and share tips and strategies and advice that you can use as a trailblazer inside of your company to take your company to the next level. So great to be with you. Love you. Hope you have a great Friday. Happy Friday. Woo! My middle son has got his first tennis match today. So I'm excited to go see him and cheer and root and scream and yell for him. And my youngest son has a birthday party. Excited to do that tonight. So guaranteed good times tonight. Soccer matches and birthday parties. And lots of pizza, balloons, and games. So if you're bored, hey, come hang out. Let's do some tennis and birthday parties tonight. Hey, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. And look forward to seeing you on Monday. Take good care. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching. Did you know every company out there has what we call digital marketing blind spots? These are simple, hidden opportunities for growing and improving your marketing that most of the time people miss. Go to www.arcanemarketing.com and take advantage of our Rise and Ignite digital marketing analysis. It's 100% free to get fresh new insights and ideas to make what you're already doing that much better in 2021.